come to you this hour, asking for your blessing and help as we are gathered together. We pray for guidance in the matters at hand and ask that you would clearly show us how to conduct our work with a spirit of joy and enthusiasm. Help us to work together and encourage each other to excellence. We ask that we would challenge each other to reach higher and farther to be the best that we can be. We ask this in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Okay, you may be seated. This time, I'd like to turn it over to the mayor for his monthly presentation to a veteran. Mayor?
Thank you, Madam President. Today we'd like to honor, as our Veteran of the Month, Neil Malchow. Neil serves at active duty in the U.S. Air Force from 1957 to 1961 and received a Good Conduct Medal in the September of 1960. Neil and Sue raised their children in the city of Tonawanda. Following his honorable discharge from the U.S. Air Force, he began his service to the community as a volunteer fireman at Niagara Hose No. 3. Neil became a paid fireman in the city of Tonawanda, badge number 49 in 1967. He was promoted to captain in 1990 and retired in 1998. Neil is a member of the Historical Society of the Tonawandas. Neil still speaks fondly of his years in the Air Force and as a COT fire department. And now, ask him what he said, he would do it again. Thank you, Mr. Malchow, for your honorable service to our country and your dedication to the city of Tonawanda. We've got a presentation for you, sir. Come on up. Thank you for your service to both our country and the city.
Thank everybody, my friends and family here. I never carried a gun. The biggest thing I carried was a hammer when I was in service.
Thank you. You got your family.
Before you put your family up, anybody who's here with a deal, come on up. Get a picture with the mayor. Sue, you're right in front of us.
Oh, now I have Betty.
1, 2, 3.
Well, thank you so much.
Mr. Malchow, I do apologize. I have an extra certificate in there. One of them is mine. I'll take it back because I'm not taking the original one back. We take one and we put it in the area when you come in, so we honor you to the next month. Thank you. I feel like an Indian here.
Mayor, do you want the sticky note back too?
No. Folder.
Would you like the folder back?
I feel terrible.
All right,
I checked that. Oh, no, it's gone.
thank you. Communications from the mayor have been ordered and filed. Communications from city officials and correspondents have also been ordered and filed. We are not going into executive session. At this time, we'll take comments by the public on the resolutions. Anyone that's joining us in person would like to speak on the resolutions can approach the microphone. Anyone that's joining us virtually, there's a spot for you to raise your hand on the resolutions. Mr. Clerk, anyone joining us virtually wish to address the council on the resolutions?
Madam President, at this time, I do not show anyone in the Zoom call looking to make any comments on the resolutions.
Okay, hearing none, let's move forward.
Resolution number 1 by Councilmember Rautenstrau.
Do we have a second? Second by Ms. Lonich.
Resolved that the common council minutes from February 7th, 2023 be accepted as filed.
Comments or questions? Please call the roll.
Lulanich,
Aye.
Nocera,
Aye.
Rautenstrau,
Aye.
Mylum,
Aye.
Cook.
I declare the resolution adopted.
Resolution number 2 by Councilmember Nocera.
Do we have a second?
I'll take it, Madam President.
Second by Mr. Mylum.
Resolved that the bills be allowed as audited.
Comments or questions? Please call the roll.
Lulanich,
Aye.
Nocera,
Aye.
Rautenstrau,
Aye.
Mylum,
Aye.
Cook.
I declare the resolution adopted.
Resolution number 3 by Councilmember Rautenstrau.
I'll second.
Resolved that the following individuals be named Commissioner of Deeds for the city of Tonawanda, term to expire December 31st, 2024, as per your agenda.
Comments or questions? Please call the roll.
Lulanich,
Aye.
Nocera,
Aye.
Rautenstrau,
Aye.
Mylum,
Aye.
Cook.
I declare the resolution adopted.
Resolution number 4 by the council, seconded by the council. Local law number 1 for 2023. A local law authorizing the city of Tonawanda to impose a property tax levy in excess of the limit established in the New York State General Municipal Law, Article 2, Section 3-C. Being enacted by the Common Council for the city of Tonawanda, that the proposed local law for the year 2023 entitled "A Local Law Authorizing the City of Tonawanda to Impose Property Tax Levy in Excess of the Limit Established in New York State General Municipal Law, Article 2, Section 3-C, which provides that it is the intent of this local law to allow the city of Tonawanda to adopt a budget for the fiscal year commencing January 1st, 2024, that requires a real property tax levy in excess of the tax levy limit as set forth in the General Municipal Law, Article 2, Section 3-C. This local law is adopted pursuant to Subdivision 5 of General Municipal Law, Article 2, Section 3-C, which expressly authorizes a governing body to override the property tax cap for the coming fiscal year by the adoption of a local law approved by 60% of the said governing body. The city of Tonawanda, the Common Council of the city of Tonawanda is hereby authorized to adopt a budget for the fiscal year commencing January 1st, 2024, that requires a real property tax levy in excess of the amount otherwise prescribed in General Municipal Law, Article 2, Section 3-C. If the court determines that any clause, sentence, paragraph, subdivision, or part of this local law or the application thereof to any person, individual, firm, or corporation or circumstance is invalid or unconstitutional, the court's order or judgment shall not affect, impair, or invalidate the remainder of this local law, which shall be confined in its operation to the clause, sentence, paragraph, subdivision, or part of this local law, or an application to the person, individual, firm, or corporation or circumstance directly involved in the controversy in which such judgment or order shall be rendered. This local law shall take effect immediately upon filing with the Secretary of the State. It is hereby introduced before the Common Council of the City of Tonawanda. And be it resolved that copies of the aforesaid proposed local law number 1 for the year 2023 be laid upon the desk of each member of the Common Council by the city clerk in accordance with the New York State Municipal Home Rule Law.
Comments or questions? Please call the roll.
Lulanich,
Aye.
Nocera,
Aye.
Rautenstrau,
Aye.
Mylum.
Aye.
Cook.
I declare the resolution adopted.
Resolution number 5 by the council, seconded by the council. Local law number 2 for 2023. A local law to authorize a real property tax exemption from city real property taxes pursuant to New York State Real Property Tax Law, Section 485A, entitled Residential Commercial Urban Exemption Program. Be it resolved by the Common Council for the City of Tonawanda that the proposed local law number 2 for the year 2023, entitled a local law to authorize a real property tax exemption for the city real property taxes pursuant to New York State Real Property Tax Law, Section 485A, entitled Residential Commercial Urban Exemption Program. And it is hereby introduced before the Common Council of the City of Tonawanda, New York, and be it further resolved that copies of the aforesaid proposed local law be laid upon the desk of each member of the Common Council by the city clerk in accordance with the New York State Municipal Home Rule Law, a copy of which said law is attached hereto and made a part thereof.
Comments or questions? Please call the roll.
Lulanich,
Aye.
Nocera,
Aye.
Rautenstrau,
Aye.
Mylum.
Aye.
Cook.
I declare the resolution adopted. Oh, of course. You could leave at any time. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, we'll now take comments by the public following the resolutions. For those that are joining us virtually, there is a spot for you to raise your hand. Please do so, and the clerk will call upon you. For those that are joining us in person, please approach the microphone. Mr. Clerk, any comments from those that are joining us virtually?
Madam President, at this time, I do not show anyone on the Zoom call looking to make any comments at this time.
Okay, Mrs. Lulanich.
I want to thank the Malchow family for all of their service to the country and to our city. I'd also like to make sure everyone is aware that the Youth Bureau is holding Youth Days, March 6th through March 10th. And all high school students are encouraged to get their rosters ready and register those. Posters are all over the high school with links to sign up. So if you know a high schooler, make sure they know to get signed up. There's a bunch of cool events. They're just trying to resurrect that fun event.
That's great. That's great. Thank you, Mrs. Lulanich. Mr. Nocera?
Thank you, Madam President. First of all, I'd like to thank Neil Melchow once again for his service to our country and to our wonderful city here. Many years of service to both. Just want to thank him and his family again. We also want to congratulate, we have two new firemen, Matthew Fozell and Anthony Angelo. They're down training at Montour Falls right now. I believe today was day number 2 or 3. And hopefully they have a long, safe career with the city of Tonawanda. That's all I have. Oh, wait a minute. And just a reminder, Green Beer Sunday is coming up March 5th. Wonderful event up at the pavilion on Canal Street. So hope to see everybody there, at least participate in the shortest parade that we can put together.
Thank you, Mr. Nocera. Mr. Rounstrau?
Thank you, Madam President. Yeah, I want to join in and also thank Neil Melchior for your service to our community and to our country. And to the mayor for honoring our veterans every month. It's a great thing. We learn more about our residents. It's really a nice thing. You know, I do want to touch on local law number one. We talked about this at the last meeting. It was in the informal. A lot of people look at this and see we're giving ourselves an opening to exceed the tax cap every year. As we discussed about it, it's a tool that we put into the toolbox to ensure that we don't put ourselves into a bad position when we make the 2024 budget next year. Doing it now, I think, is ideal because it keeps it in our mindset for the rest of the year. As the mayor said, if we do nothing, we'll be in a position where we're going to have to go over the tax cap and raise the taxes next year. Having this in place, I think this is, weighs on our head that every decision we make between now and then is a decision keeping this in mind, that we don't want to pass along a tax increase to our residents. That we want to have further discussions about the services that we have, holding on to them and providing more services for our community. Our city treasurer had mentioned at the last meeting and at several meetings about the community roundtables that he's having. I believe somebody is here looking for it tonight, and I believe it is the third Thursday of every month is what he talked about. Fourth Thursday. Tuesday. What is it?
It's the fourth Tuesday because the person who asked me at the fourth Thursday, I went backwards.
That's it. So sorry to confuse matters. So the fourth Tuesday of the month. I highly encourage all of our residents who has any interest in the budget and how it affects their taxes to jump in on these. I've been lucky enough to talk to Bill, to our treasurer, not only this treasurer, but our past treasurer, Joe Hogenkamp as well, and have been involved with it and have an understanding of how our finances work. But I think it's important for all of our residents to have a basic idea of how it happens, how it's affected by the services that we have, and have an input and have a say into what goes into our budget. And to have these conversations through the year before we get to the finalization of the budget. That's all. I just want to make more people aware of it, encourage people to talk to our treasurer and be engaged with this. It affects our day-to-day, it affects our taxes in our houses. And I think it's a very important thing. And that's all.
Thank you, Mr. Rounstrau. Mr. Mylum?
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank Monica. I reached out to her last week for a resource. The resident was having an issue with getting their unemployment, and through a combination of different folks, I think we got this person on the right track. So thank you, I think. But I want to thank you for helping. Really appreciate that. There are some updates forthcoming on Hackett Drive. I don't want to give too much out tonight because I don't have the exact parameters of what is going on. But what I've been told is that they're in their final phase of bidding out the project. A lot of people have seen activity up there. The mountain is growing kind of by a daily basis. It's in the final stages of being capped. It doesn't change too much in the day-to-day of residents along Hackett Drive. That all of that information that they were provided with stays the same. There has been a slight potential change in the erecting of a fence or gates. So I'm still waiting to get exactly what that is going to be and what it's going to look like and where those gates will be, or if there will be gates, I don't know. So before I give out too much more information, I want to confirm that with the company. Once that is confirmed, I will certainly mention it here, but we'll be walking with Reeds as well to provide that to the residents in a face-to-face manner. So I think that's about, and it was really great to see Mr. Melkow tonight. I grew up with him. I've known him about my entire life. He's a very good friend of the family. And for some reason, I never knew that he was served. So additional thing, I always admired him because he was a fireman. I didn't know he served. So thank you for your service. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Mylum. Mayor?
Thank you, Madam President. Again, hats off to Neil Melchior for his service, both the country and our city. And do you think if maybe we had the veteran of the month at the end of the meeting, it would be better? No, they wouldn't stay.
They'd be coming in now.
They'd be coming in now. Okay, I just thought I'd throw it out there.
Do that, yeah.
But a couple things is, as Sean said, that's just another tool that our treasurer Bill has advised us of keeping our pockets, but so is the 485. It's another tool to entice business to come into the city. We're not business friendly, so it's one way of doing it, and it helps us out. We're hoping it encourages business to come in. Sharon and I had a great meeting, encouraging meeting with Benderson today. Are they doing anything with the old McDonald's? Not yet, but conversation is with 2 other locations that are empty. So that one is going to happen before that one. But we opened up our thoughts, our vision of the city to him, what our goal is. We want to make it a destination. We don't want to make it a drive-through. We heard it, according to him, by blocking off Young Street, because Young Street was the direct route off the I-90, and now we blocked it off. And he says that that's what hurt quite a few from coming in. But I like what we have over on Young Street. I promote it. I'm going to fill it. I love it. And now we've got to live with it. I think we live very fine with it. So there's some conversation happening with quite a few things, properties with Benderson that are empty right now in the city of Tonawanda. So that part is encouraging. And a couple of people brought to my attention, I'll make it just really brief, but I briefed the council and exec, but we have a concern about all the CSX railroads. I just like the public to understand and put it on record that we are protected. Bottom line, that risk in layman's terms equals the hazard divided by our safeguards. And we're taking a heck of a lot of safeguards that we put into place to protect our citizens of the city. With our fire department, this was set up with Chief Stewart and with Mark Banks. And I'll tell you what, it's a good program. It's a good thing in place. But something that was brought to my attention at the meeting earlier was the fact that how do we get the word out to our residents on what to do, where to go? We would do that through the fire department, through the police department, depending on the evacuation, what takes place, what way the wind's blowing. There's so much that comes into place. But I just want to put everybody at ease that we are protected and protected very well. And everybody that associated with it has done their due diligence to make sure that we are safe. That's what they do. That's what we hire them. That's what they're paid to do. They're professionals. And I'm not going to give you their game plan because it's a 50-page game plan. It's like giving the defense every offensive play we're going to do. It's not going to happen. So bottom line is we are taking the best safeguards to reduce the risk, because there's risk in everything we do in life. From every car that goes by, every train that goes by, every truck carrying whatever goes by. Just look at the placards on the side of the trucks when you see them go by. Look them up sometime. Ooh, that one went by. I know what that one is now. The fire department is going to tell you what a lot of them are. That's what they're trained to do. But you'll see, but that's something that they are DOT, they have to do when they travel, carrying hazardous material. So do we have hazardous material coming through the city? Yes, we do. Alarming to you, it shouldn't be, but we will protect you the best we can. The other thing is we've got a Rotary coming up, and I thought we were going to cover it before, but nobody had mentioned it. So it's actually a paint collection drop off on March 25th. Thank you, both chiefs, for getting involved. Captain Foles also, in regards to how we're going to bring them in. It's March 25th. You can find it online on the city page or on my page. It's a Saturday, and it's going to be a drop off behind Walgreens. Any paints that you've got, no solvents, just paints. All your paints that you sat in your, this is the end of March, when you clean out your garages, cleaning out all your stuff. I'm bringing probably 15, 20 of myself, but I'll register first. You can register, but it does, walk-ups are welcome. Don't carry them, but you can bring your car and drive right up and they will accept them. So it's a nice thing offered through the Rotary in combination in conjunction with the city of Tonawanda. We provide them with a location. It helps our citizens. My goal and our goal as a council is to get a shredded date, a computer drop-off date, and also a paint day. So we're satisfying the paint one, and we're going to work on the other ones as we move forward. So, Madam President, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Here's another event for your calendar. The Lions Club is hosting a spaghetti dinner on March 19th at the Eldridge Club. There's information on social media on how you can obtain tickets. I too would like to thank Mr. Malchow for his service. I learned something new about him as well today, and I thank him for his service to our city and our country. And I know we're all thinking about warmer weather. You can join us in the caucus room. We're going to be talking about Canal Fest. If both chiefs are still here, if you could also join us as well. So with that said, we're going to move into the caucus room and talk about Canal Fest. Thank you for coming this evening, and drive home safe. Okay. Follow up on record.
This concludes the Zoom call. Our next council meeting is Tuesday, March 7th. Have a great evening and thanks for joining.